Hey guys, Coach Mitz here from CrossFit by Design. Today we're going to talk about the front squat. Alright guys, front squats, what we're on tap today. This video is not really going to be so much about getting into the front squat and the overall technique of that, but more the most common thing I see, which is sore wrist from the front squat. So, quick demo of the front squat, just in case you don't know what it is. I'm guessing you do if you search this video. It's about getting sore wrists rather than the front squat, but anyway. So, that's my front squat. I'll take out my squat stance, same way I do in the air squat video. I'll bring my elbows through, up into position so the bar sits on the top of my shoulder. So as far as grip goes, I go just outside of my shoulders, where I put my thumb on the edge of the knurling, measure off, and then I go open hand, grip on the bar. So I want to go open hand because it's not my hand that's holding onto the bar. The bar is sitting on top of my shoulder, and it's simply kept in place there by that front rack position. Alright, so the most common thing that I see with this is poor position overall, or an okay position, but it's just translating to a heck of a lot of wrist pain. So, if you think about it like this, there's only a requisite amount of sort of mobility in that shoulder capsule, right? So if I spend all day hanging out in front of my shoulder, I'm already sort of, if you can imagine, I'm already hanging out in front of my shoulder capsule, right? So then when I go to wind up into that front squat, I sort of lack that mobility to get there. Whereas if I was in a good position in the first place, it would be a lot less expensive for me to get to that position. So if I don't maintain good posture throughout the day, or just, throughout movements or whatever, throughout life, and I hang out the front here, then I can, and people do, I can get my fingers to the bar. But what it actually does is, because there's a limited amount of mobility through my shoulder, it just puts more and more and more tension on my wrist. So even though my wrist is the thing that hurts, it's most likely not the thing that is the issue. So there's a whole bunch of things you can do for that, but I'll show you a couple of them today. The first of which is just to try and set that shoulder back. So I've got my band off the pole here, and then what I can do is just kind of press forward into that position. So I press the band forward and then let it sink my shoulder back, and I can just get a little bit of contract, relax through there. If that sort of winds me up a little too much, I can stay in this position here, work against the band so I kind of contract, and then relax, let it sink back. That's the kind of work I'm looking for. So I'm basically finding a good position, pressing into the band, and then letting it sink my shoulder back there. So 2 minutes each side on something like that would be a great start. What you can also do is, say I started out with this, I went into my press, all of that. What I can do is grab a lacrosse ball and try and mimic that same position on the ground, and rather than just roll around on the lacrosse ball, is I can set myself into that front rack position, and if you wanted to, I could almost grab a little bit of weight, or to get somebody to help you out would probably be ideal, and they could just sort of gently press down. So I'm mimicking that front rack position, and I'm just hunting around. So there's that position right there. I just hunt around for this position, or hunt around for those restrictions with the ball, and I just try and loosen off through there. So this is a great one just to sort of find those real problem areas after I've set that shoulder back. And then last, what you can do is just, again, just to mimic that front rack, come up. So I just usually like to go hand through the band, and then it just goes up like that, so I'm not trying to grip onto the band. And then come forward, make sure you keep your abs locked down, and then contract and relax. So what I don't want to do when I'm doing this is like open up through there, because I'm not going to get away with that on the barbell either. So I keep my abs locked down, and then I just contract, relax, just like that. So I never just want to just hang here and be like, hey, yeah, what's going on, whatever. Like, and just feel for that stretch. I'm trying to work into a better position there, all right? So, at CrossFit by Design, we love doing mobility, but the amount of mobility we do in here is almost never going to be enough, especially if you're spending your time outside of here constantly in bad positions. So a great resource, and a resource where I get all this kind of information from, is Mobility WOD. Kelly Strand does a great job of breaking things down, and he's kind of made mobility like the cool thing to do, as cool as mobility can be. So this kind of work has really helped me with my front rack. Now I don't really struggle with the position much at all. But you definitely have to maintain it, especially if you are trapped in bad positions all day, so like at a computer and things like that. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. So today, I guess it's more front rack technique than front squat technique. But yeah, hope you get something out of it. Cheers.